Everybody. We are going to do a couple language pages today from our packet. Remember, we are working on this packet number 1, and we are on lesson number 5. The lesson is so easy for you, so I'm going to go through it very quickly. This lesson is about capitalizing first words, and they want you to answer questions about a story, Little Red Riding Hood. Well, some of you might not be familiar with the story, and I'm going to tell it to you very quickly. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Little Red Riding Hood, and she wanted to visit her grandma at her grandma's house on the other side of the woods. Her grandma wasn't feeling well, so she wanted to bring her a lunch in a basket. So as Red Riding Hood was walking through the forest, a wolf caught sight of her and overheard that she was going to Grandma's house. So what he did was he ran to Grandma's house, took Grandma and put her in the closet, and he dressed up as Grandma and hid in the bed with the covers up to his neck and a hat on. So when Little Red Riding Hood got to the cabin, she looked at the wolf, and the wolf was trying to act like Grandma, but Little Red Riding Hood was smarter than that, and she figured it out. And then she chased the wolf out of the house and let Grandma out of the closet, and everybody was fine. So on this page, it says, the first question is, what did Little Red Riding Hood take to Grandma? Now, do you remember in my quick little story what she was carrying with her through the woods? Well, if you set a basket with a lunch in it, you're right. But how do you answer that question? You have to use some of the words that are in the question in your answer. So if it says, what did Little Red Riding Hood bring? You have to say, Little Red Riding Hood took a basket to Grandma's. You have to use the words that are in the question in your answer. Next question, who was sick? Well, I told you a minute ago that Grandma was sick, so you're going to answer that with those words. Grandma was sick. And then it says, the next question, where was Little Red Riding Hood going? Little Red Riding Hood was walking through the woods. So I'm using the words from the question in my answer. Why did Little Red Riding Hood suspect foul play? That means that something was wrong. Little Red Riding Hood suspected foul play because she saw a wolf dressed like her grandmother. So just remember, boys and girls, to use some of the words from the question in your answer and to make names capitals, first words capitals, and make sure you have a period or some punctuation at the end of your question. Okay, next. On the back of that, our academic vocabulary today is chart. Now, chart is a noun, the way they're using it in this sentence. A chart is like a table or a list or a graph. If I'm going to make a chart on the board, I'm going to tell you some information. So you can make a little chart in this box of your own to use. Next, rewrite this sentence. And the sentence says, Juan went to the store and bought eggs, bacon, yogurt, and cookies. So this reminds us of the lesson I did last week where you have to use commas whenever you make a list. So what is on the list? Eggs, bacon, yogurt, and cookies. So your answer should look like this. Juan should be capitalized, that's a name. And then you start your list, eggs, then you start your comma, bacon, comma, yogurt, comma, and cookies. You don't use a comma after the word and. I hope you remembered that from last week. Next, a research project. In a report about bears, where should you put the information about bears? And they give you 4 sections of the report. In the bibliography, that's a section of your report. In the table of contents, in the body of the report, or on the title page. So let's look at all of these 4. What is the bibliography? Do you know? Long word. It just means the list of books that you used to write your report. So if you used 3 books, you're going to list those 3 books in your bibliography. Let's say you used 2 magazine articles and a book. You would list all 3 of those things in your bibliography. Table of contents. Well, we know what that is from using our reading books at school, our anthology. We go to the table of contents, and what does it tell you? It tells you the names and pages of the stories in the book or the chapters. So that's not where you're going to put all your information. In the body of the report, that is the main report. That's where you're going to put all your information. On the title page, that tells you just the name of your report. So, bibliography is a list of books. Table of contents, names of the chapters. The body is where you really tell your report. That's the body of the report. And title page is just the name of the report. All right. I am going to see you next time for lesson number 6. See you then.